Welcome to the John and Heidi Show podcast.
John and Heidi.
Here's John and Heidi.
Thank you so much for listening to the John and Heidi Show this weekend. Hey, baby, how you doing?
I'm fantastic. How are you?
Fabulous. We've got a second scoop because it is a weekend edition of the John and Heidi Show, so we got a lot of fun stuff to cram into today's program. Let's start right here. The McDonald's Corporation is filtering their public Wi-Fi now for the first time ever. The Internet Safety Organization Enough is Enough is praising their actions. They say McDonald's decision to block pornography and child porn is a step in the right direction. Wait a minute. You mean up until now, people could sit at McDonald's and watch porn?
And who's doing that?
Apparently somebody is, or they wouldn't have had to block it. So,
wow.
It's quite a happy meal you're having over there. I'm just imagining what was going on.
Now we know what's in the secret sauce.
Oh, that's even worse. A Hawaii Airlines flight had to make an emergency landing due to a problem with their hydraulic system. When it landed, it blew 10 tires. I didn't even know that airplanes had 10 tires. But apparently they do.
Crazy.
So maybe they have more, but it says they blew 10, so I wonder how many they have total. Anyway, a lot of tires to blow out. Coming up, we got some special things going on this weekend. We'll tell you about that in a bit.
John and Heidi.
Today is a special day, Heidi. Do you know what today is?
What is today, John?
I thought you'd never ask. It's the weekend, so we're going to actually do Saturday and Sunday. Saturday is Gorgeous Grandma Day. Saturday is also Hot Enough for You Day.
Okay.
It's also National Day of the Cowboy and National Hot Dog Day. Sunday is Auntie's Day. It is Cousin's Day. It is National Drive-Thru Day, National Tequila Day,
Ooh.
National Thermal Engineers Day, Parents' Day, and Tell an Old Joke Day.
Well, there you
A
go.
lot of stuff going on Sunday. So you can go have some tequila with your parents and your cousins and your aunties, apparently, and your gorgeous grandma on Saturday. So Tequila Day. I didn't know they have a Tequila Day. I suppose because, most people don't realize they have a Tequila Day because after they celebrate it, they black out and forget what happened.
There you go.
I think that's what's going on. All right. Thank you so much for listening to the John and Heidi Show this weekend.
Whether you're an experienced shooter or someone new to self-defense, Front Sight Firearms Training Institute has a course for you. You may recognize Front Sight from their reality TV show filmed at this private range 45 minutes west of Las Vegas. A Diamond lifetime membership is $15,000, but we have a special price of just $3,000 available now only at radiosavings.com. This lifetime membership allows you to take over 50 courses as often as you'd like at Front Sight Firearms Training Institute. Get this deal right now at radiosavings.com.
You know it's true because you heard it on the radio. We don't know who yet, but somebody out there has to be the dumbest car thief in all of America. And it would probably be the person who stole Mr. Anderson's car in Savannah, Georgia. He is Mr. Pro-Life Anderson. That is his first name. It used to be Charles, but he had it legally changed to Pro-Life back in 1987.
Really?
And that ought to give you a little clue to this 74-year-old activist and what he's all about. His 1980 Buick LeSabre is a true testament to his politics. It's literally covered with bumper stickers proclaiming slogans like God is pro-life and real men love Jesus. And he's even got his name, Pro-Life Anderson, painted in giant bold letters on each door. Pro-life, Mr. Anderson says, it would be funny if it wasn't so tragic. They would be foolish to be driving around with a car that says, hey, look at me. Unfortunately, it was not insured because Pro-Life never thought that he would ever have to worry about it being stolen.
Well, and it's from the 80s. I mean, yeah.
In the meantime, Pro-Life, again, that's his name, says he will continue his pro-life work with his backup car, a much smaller, much more subtle Nissan. So his big 1987 Buick LeSabre, completely covered in bumper stickers, and somebody stole that. That was their vehicle of choice.
That's really too bad.
Of all the cars you were going to steal, why would you steal that one? Wouldn't you think you'd steal something a little less conspicuous? Because
they probably took it just to vandalize. It was probably somebody who was offended by the fact that he had that vehicle, and they probably took it just to destroy
drove
it.
it in a lake or something?
Yeah.
Well, I don't encourage you to do that kind of thing. That's a bad idea. But Mr. Pro-Life, Mr. Anderson, I'm sorry to hear that you had your car stolen. That'd be a bad way to start the day. So
sounds like you might be just a little bit off. Anyway, I mean, who changes their first name to Pro-Life?
Somebody who is adamant about their cause. He was so adamant that that's his name now.
I mean, I am pro-life as well, but I certainly wouldn't go in and...
Heidi Pro-Life Small?
No, I wouldn't change my name.
Not even change your middle name?
No.
Okay.
No,
well,
I'm good.
He did, and you know it's true because you heard it on the radio.
John and Heidi.
The John and Heidi Show is brought to you in part by the Keystone Treatment Center.
This is your brain, and this is your brain on drugs. We share silly stories here on the program, but addiction is no joke. If you or someone you know suffers with an addiction to drugs or alcohol, make today the day you seek help.
Call toll-free 844-204-1055.
That's a toll-free number. Again,
844-204-1055.
and this is your brain on drugs. William Vines rushed to a New York police station and told the officers on duty that two men in a BMW cut him off in traffic, and they waved a gun at him, and he thought maybe they would still be waiting outside, so they came out to check. Well, the men were gone. No, and then when they came out to check on the situation, the two men were there trying to break into the trunk of his Malibu right in front of the police station.
Okay.
After arresting them, the officer decided,
Drugs.
what is in the trunk here? And it was filled with drugs.
Yeah.
Maybe he shouldn't have gone to the police to tell them. He had about $500,000
Oh, my goodness.
worth of cocaine in his trunk, and he was busted because whoever it was that was chasing him, that's what they were after. They weren't after him, and they would have gotten it too if it wasn't for those darn police. Well,
Wow.
I'm really glad that
What
the
an
police were
idiot.
there. Yeah, that guy wasn't that smart because did he not know that was in his trunk?
He probably didn't figure they'd have any reason to look in his trunk. He probably figured when he ran in, the people would have run off.
Yeah.
So he didn't think he had anything to
Well,
worry about.
He had something to worry about. Kids, that's what happens when your brain is on drugs.
John and Heidi.
We have your moment of duh at this time each day, and this is our moment of duh today. Tinder. I've never used Tinder, but it's a website for hooking up with people, like finding dates and whatnot. Well, Tinder users are fibbers, Heidi.
Okay.
They're not necessarily lying, but according to a new study of demographics, it appears that a large chunk of them are not necessarily being forthright either. So what does that mean? They're not lying, but they're not telling the truth?
Well, they're being very vague.
Okay. Well, it says here research by a company that I won't mention because I don't even know how to say their name, found that 42% of people using Tinder, keep that in mind, 42% of people using Tinder are already in relationships.
Yikes.
So to me, that is not being very honest, because if you're on there looking for somebody, but you're already dating somebody or married to somebody, that's a bad idea.
Yeah.
Many of those, by the way, are men. 42% of the users overall have a relationship of some kind already, and many of those are men. So, ladies, I don't know. Maybe that's not the place to find the right guy. I don't know. Just sounds like an interesting concept.
Yeah. I don't know.
I would swipe left on those, or is it right? I don't know what it is. I don't use that. I just heard people talk about it. I would skip it. Let's move on. We have your scoop of the day on the way.
The Scoop of the Day is brought to you by Wells Blue Bunny. If you want delicious ice cream, be sure to look for the Blue Bunny. Sure to have your favorite flavors. Learn more at bluebunny.com.
Now your scoop of the day. A Denver company is making wine for cats.
I've heard about
It's a non-alcoholic drink. It actually is made with beets, and it comes in punky flavors like Pinot Meow.
Oh, good Lord.
And Meow Scotto.
You know you are a lonely, lonely
Meow
person when
scatto.
you need to get
Meow-
wasted with your cat.
I'm trying to think. I don't think you drink it.
no,
Meow?
but
Oh, Moscato.
you're not
That's how
going
it's
to give
said.
it to your cat. You're going to drink your own wine while your
Oh.
cat's drinking wine. You're going to, like...
Well, you would anyway. Recent survey by Cable Co. UK shows 1 in 3 people would rather lose a finger than their internet connection.
Oh, not me.
Really?
Bye-bye, internet.
Yeah. Goodbye, internet. I'll keep my fingers as well. If you lose a finger, wouldn't it be kind of hard to do a lot of stuff on the internet anyway? Well, we got to type a little different here.
I'm very attached to my
I
fingers.
am too. I'm very attached to my
I
fingers.
cannot watch a movie even where somebody,
Oh.
you know,
Yeah, I
you
know.
sit and watch me, and anytime
Yeah.
somebody gets like their hands smashed, like even on like Casino, the movie
Yeah.
Casino, they smash that man's hands up,
Hey,
and I'm
let's not
Ugh.
talk about those graphic
I
things
can't
on our weekend
handle
edition
it.
of the program here.
so
Hey,
there's no ad unless
conventional-
someone cut off my finger.
Moving on. Conventional wisdom says it takes 5 to 7 attempts for most smokers to quit. Those estimates might be low based on new data of over 1,200 smokers in Canada. The real average number of attempts to quit before being successful could be as much as 30. Yeah, 30 attempts. So if you've tried to quit and maybe it didn't stick, keep on trying, because they say that the average could be 30. So Keep on trying if you'd like. We have the Quit Line number, by the way, and the Quit Line website on our Facebook page, facebook.com/John and Heidi Show. And if you go there, you're also going to find a link to this. Pokemon Go. It's all over the place.
Oh, my goodness.
Well, I've got 3 stories that are all going to go together here. The first one, Pokemon Go's website is careful to warn players not to get distracted, saying, for safety's sake, never play Pokemon Go when you're on a bike, driving a car, riding a hoverboard, or anything else where you could be or should be paying attention.
Yeah, that's just common sense.
How about while you're walking? Because that's where a lot of people are having troubles. People have walked out in front of cars and gotten hit while playing Pokemon Go. A New Jersey woman got stuck in a tree at a cemetery while playing Pokemon Go.
How do you get stuck in a tree?
She climbed the tree apparently thinking that she was going to catch a Pokemon, and when she got up there, she couldn't get down. I have no idea.
This is the most ridiculous idea
now,
ever.
If you are having Pokemon Go, what would you call it? Where you envy? Envy, I think that's what it is. If you're envying those, going, oh, I'd like to be that cool. First of all, we need to talk. But second of all, if you're feeling left behind in the world of Pokemon Go, and if you've got $1,500, you can catch up really quick because there are people selling their Pokemon Go accounts on eBay.
What?
Go straight to level 21. Pokemon Go accounts are for sale on Craigslist and eBay. I have a link to a page where you can buy these things. This is the dumbest thing I've ever heard of.
Gosh.
$1,500, if that's too much, well, you could spend like $150 and just go up to like level 16. So would you sell your Candy Crush account? What level are you on?
I'm on like level 1722.
Would you sell that to somebody?
No.
Why not?
Because I want to finish.
Well, you could start over and get your way back up there.
No.
So if somebody came knocking saying, "Hey, I want to get all the way up to the top," Heidi, you gave me a jump start, and I'll give you $1,500 for that. You wouldn't sell it?
Well, I wouldn't know how to sell it. I'd have to sell my phone, wouldn't I?
No, I don't know how it works. Can you log in from different devices and different things?
Mine's connected to Facebook, so I'd have to almost sell my Facebook.
I don't know how it works, but these people are selling their Pokemon Go. I just thought maybe I could rake in some cash this weekend on your account. I'm just kidding. Moving right along, our last story.
I'm not selling it.
Ben & Jerry or Haagen-Dazs might help you get pregnant. It's not what you think, though. A new study suggests diet rich in ice cream and other high-fat dairy foods could lower the type 1 type of infertility. Some doctors say it could be too good to be true, so maybe you don't want to believe all the hype. But they're saying it certainly doesn't hurt to try. So you're supposed to eat the ice cream. Eat the ice cream and see what happens. So there you go. Just want to make sure we clarify that. We have your second scoop, not of ice cream, but your second scoop of awesome news coming your way in a bit. Thanks for listening to the John and Heidi Show.
John and Heidi.
This has been quite an election so far, and we've got a long ways to go. Stay informed at politicalstorm.com. It's a cool site with political news and information on the campaigns, plus a place to chime in and have a say in what you think. If you're into politics, you need to check out politicalstorm.com. Get informed from several different sources all in one place. Listen to podcasts like mine and learn about current election topics, read fun editorials, and engage your brain. It's your country. It's your vote. It's your voice. Politicalstorm.com. That's politicalstorm.com.
John and Heidi.
Now your second scoop. That's one of my favorite things about the weekend edition. A recent study says New York City produces 1% of the country's greenhouse gas emissions. That's as much as the entire country of Ireland or Portugal. I am super excited because I've got a guest coming up this Friday, the 29th. We're going to be talking about the climate change.
Okay.
And he completely blew my mind in the little interview that we do before the interview. He's saying that it has nothing to do with people. So I'm excited to find out a little more about this. A Japanese researcher has discovered the perfect way to eat a hamburger. 3 experts in fluid mechanics, engineering, and density say thumbs and pinkies on the bottom, 3 fingers on top. So thumbs and pinkies on the bottom, 3 fingers. That would be really hard.
Yeah, I'm not going to eat a hamburger.
The uniformly spread fingers help keep the burger together at all times, thus keeping the contents from mushing out preemptively. So by holding your fingers, that is just weird. They must be eating much smaller burgers than I eat, too, because I can't hardly... Like a triple stacker is not going to fit in there.
Yeah.
A Polish boy, he's just 5 years young, hopped behind the wheel of a car and drove it several blocks looking for his mother after he had an argument with his grandma.
Oh.
The boy was not injured in the short drive, and the car was stopped without incident. Witnesses say the boy started the car, cranked up the stereo, and stood on the driver's seat to see over the steering wheel.
Yeah, how's he going to run the pedals?
He wasn't. It was just idling and rolled it down the road. This little boy in Poland is lucky he's not dead.
Yeah, he is.
Most Americans think they can swim just fine, but a recent survey reveals that 44% of Americans don't know basic water safety skills. Only 56% of Americans could perform the 5 core swimming skills. Recent survey conducted on behalf of the American Red Cross said the steps, also known as water competency, include jumping or stepping into water over one's head, returning to the surface to tread water or float for 1 minute, circling around and identifying an exit, swimming 25 yards to that point, and then exiting the water. Do you think you could do all of that stuff?
Yeah.
I could do all of that. I could do all of that with one arm tied behind my back.
How many people don't know how to do
44% couldn't do that. So 56, over half
that's
could.
Scary.
It is kind of scary. So hopefully I'll put a link on our Facebook page so you can read all about it. If you're about to head out the door for that neighborhood barbecue, of course, men, you might be wearing, some fashionable, cool, comfy sandals, right? Maybe you shouldn't. 58% of women say guys should not wear sandals, citing long toenails and lots of hair on their feet as huge turnoffs. So dudes, keep those feet covered up.
Yeah.
Or
if you've
at
got
least
gnarly feet, keep them covered.
Keep them groomed, at least. If you got hairy feet, could you shave your feet? Is that how
You can shave your feet.
Can you really? I've never tried. Should I shave my feet? Do I need to?
You don't need to shave
Okay,
your feet.
good. But you do want to at least trim those nails. That's a good idea. A Florida man has been arrested after authorities say he sent a woman about 118 text messages over 8 hours. 34-year-old William Thomas Hardaway was taken into custody after the woman could not take the alleged harassment any longer. Now, if you're trying to do the math, that's 14 texts per hour, or about 1 text message every 4 minutes.
Wow.
This dude really wanted to get his message through. Research shows that boys, just like girls, are experiencing younger and younger puberty. It's happening to people younger and younger now, and they don't really even know why that's happening, but it is. A study by San Diego State University researchers has disproven the popular 5-second rule, determining bacteria can attach itself in less than 5 seconds. We talked about that one other time.
We did.
And that study proved
that
it, didn't
proved that, that was the exact opposite
guys,
study. That's why I was sitting here shaking my head. I'm
getting
like,
government funds to prove each other wrong.
that's insane.
Petersburg, Virginia man has the nickname Murder, and he faced attempted murder charges.
We talked about this, and then they dropped
This is a different guy. That was a guy who his name was Rob Banks.
Oh, yeah.
And they had to change his name for the term.
Oh, that's right.
This guy, his nickname is Murder, and now he's facing attempted murder charges. Police say that he shot another man, and his nickname is Murder.
Well, that's probably why his nickname was Murder. He's probably done it before.
He's earned the nickname now. Christians claim to believe the Bible is God's word. Many claim God's divinely inspired inherent message is given to us in the Bible. Yet, despite this, Christians were just not reading it enough. Today reports and recent Lifeway research study found that 45% of those who regularly attend church read the Bible more than once a week. So if you go to church regularly, only about half of those read the Bible once a week. Over 40% of the people attending read their Bible once or twice a month. Almost 1 in 5 churchgoers say they never really read the Bible, essentially the same number as those who read it every day. So they either read it every day or they never read it, and then everybody else is kind of like right in the middle. Now, I got to tell you, I do read the Bible, and I've gotten back to the point where I'm reading it every day. And for about maybe 3 weeks where things were really hectic and we were really busy, and I kind of got away from it, I can tell you what, it made a big difference in my life.
Yeah.
Because I kind of feel like I've gotten everything all pulled back together now, and I'm like, wow, what I really missed this. And it just seems like when I open the Bible and I turn to a page, it doesn't matter where it is, it seems like it's speaking directly to me. So for me, that works. I've got a link to this story, by the way, at facebook.com/John and Heidi Show.
John and Heidi.
Do you buy lottery tickets? Maybe you wait till the jackpot is big, then you buy one. I was like that too. Like my odds get better because the jackpot was more. Well, I think I found something that actually will give me a better chance to win. It's called Lotto-licious. I learned about this from Richard Lustig. He literally wrote the book on how to win the lottery, and he should know. He's a 7-time lottery game grand prize winner. Richard plays and endorses Lotto-licious, and I just signed up too. I'd love it if you join Richard and I. You can play Powerball and Mega Millions without even going to the store. Sign up right now at RadioLottopool.com.
John and Heidi.
Fun fact for you, Heidi.
What's that, John?
The first 6 American Idol winners were all crowned at the Kodiak Theater.
Oh.
I don't know what that is or where that is, but I guess that's a fun fact somehow. Fun fact for you, Heidi.
What's that, John?
If you bring a raccoon's head to the Heinecker, New Hampshire Town Hall, they'll give you a dime for it. I'm not sure why.
All right.
Fun fact for you, Heidi.
What's that, John?
I did not know this, but all of the swans in the country of England are property of the Queen. So are all the sturgeons. If you mess with them, it's a serious offense. So if you're heading to England, be nice to the swans and the sturgeons, or you could be in all kinds of trouble.
Huh.
Fun fact for you, Heidi.
What's that, John?
Ham radio operators got the term ham. You know what that comes from? I always thought that it stood for something, but it doesn't. It actually, back in the day, they would pound, because it was like Morse code, they would pound this thing.
Okay.
So originally they were called ham-fisted operators.
Oh.
So because they had to be ham-fisted to do that, and then eventually it just became ham operators. So, but back in the day, they used Morse code to pound out their messages.
Interesting.
And our final fun fact for you, Heidi.
What's that, John?
Alexander Graham Bell, the inventor of the telephone, did you know he never once phoned his mother or his wife?
I did not.
But it's because they were both deaf. That's why.
Oh.
So he had a good reason. See, I just thought that'd be a fun way to say it. I call my mom once in a while, and I call my wife all the time. So I think it's a good idea. Thank you so much for listening to The John and Heidi Show.
Whether you're an experienced shooter or someone new to self-defense, Front Sight Firearms Training Institute has a course for you. You may recognize Front Sight from their reality TV show filmed at this private range 45 minutes west of Las Vegas. A diamond lifetime membership is $15,000, but we have a special price of just $3,000 available now only at radiosavings.com. This lifetime membership allows you to take over 50 courses as often as you'd like at Front Sight Firearms Training Institute. Get this deal right now at radiosavings.com.
Thank you for listening to the John and Heidi Show this weekend. Medical researchers from New York and New Jersey universities, including Rutgers and MRI, did they did MRI scans. That makes more sense. I was thinking MRI is a university. They did MRI scans on people who were freshly in love. You know, like us, freshly in love.
Yeah.
They found that its effect on the brain, new love, could easily be mistaken for mental illness. It's in a neural profile. Romance resembles things like cocaine cravings.
Oh.
It appears to be a blend of mania, dementia, and obsession, causing behavior like compulsive phone calls, serenading, yelling from rooftops, and even showing up at the gym every day because the loved one is there. So all of these things, you are either crazy or crazy in love. Now, maybe that's what the deal is. We read a story earlier today about a guy. He sent, how many was it? I'm going to look on here because I scrolled by.
Yeah, just make sure before you do that the other person is in love as well, because
he sent
otherwise you're a stalker.
118 text messages in 8 hours, and he was arrested for that. So make sure that if you are in love and you want to spend all this time with somebody and you're, reaching out to them, make sure that they're cool with that too.
Yes.
Because if they're not, this could maybe end in a
this could end
very
very poorly.
Now, back when we very first met, it's been a long time ago. We met 17 years ago, Heidi and I did. When we first met, do you feel like that we went through this craziness?
Oh, yeah.
Because I think so, too. I was pretty crazy for you. But here's the thing. I'm still pretty crazy for you. I am. And you're smirking.
I don't know why you
laughing.
why you do this on the radio.
But I do. But I am. So, ladies, I know when you see me, you're thinking, "Hey, I want to have that hot stuff for myself."
Yeah, he's taken, ladies.
Sorry, I'm madly in love with my wife. I have to tell people that all the time. They never ask, but I explain it to them. No, I just, to me, that is one of the best things ever. Find somebody that you love, find somebody that loves you, and spend as much time as you can with that person. Because
maybe not quite as much time as we spend.
We're together a lot.
Together, that might be a little overboard, but
going to take a vacation with me. Is that what you're trying to say? Coming up, we're going to talk about the TV show Chips. That's on the way. Thanks for listening to the John and Heidi Show.
Hey, this is Tim from Hope and Faith Machine Works. Are you having one of these days?
How in the world am I going to do that?
Or even,
if I could just have this, my life would be so much easier.
Well, this kind of stuff is my specialty. At Hope and Faith Machine Works, we work with anyone who needs something built, fabricated, or just done right. We've done medical, industrial, PLC, and prototype designs. You can reach us at yourhopeourfaith.com. That's yourhopeourfaith.com.
Thanks for listening to the John and Heidi Show. When you were a kid, did you watch the TV show Chips? Was that ever something that interested you?
Not really. I mean, I've seen it before.
See, when I was a kid, we watched that. And I think part of it is, when I was a little boy, my dad was a policeman when I was just a little guy. So I think maybe the reason that he had an interest in that is because, it's about the California Highway Patrol. That's what Chips stands for. Well, Eric Estrada was one of the guys from Chips. and he pretended to be a patrol officer on that TV show. Well, it says here now, the actor was sworn in as a reserve police officer in St. Anthony, Idaho on July 2nd. Did you know that?
I did know that. I read that.
Did we talk about
We
that
have
here?
not talked
Okay, I
about
didn't
it.
think so. There's a big focus on protecting children from online predators. Estrada now works as a spokesperson for the Safe Surfing Foundation. Organization looks to educate parents, teachers, clergy, and children about internet safety while working to track down online predators. I've got a link to this story because I think it's a fascinating story, and I think it's really cool that he went from pretending to be a police officer to being a real police officer.
And I think it's really cool, the organization that he's getting behind. I think that's fantastic
that's
because
fabulous.
the internet is a very dangerous place.
It is. And if you want to go to a safe place, check out our Facebook page. I don't let Heidi do anything on there.
I'm not allowed to touch it.
Facebook.com/John and Heidi Show.
John and Heidi.
A large study to examine the use of X-rays, CT scans, and other medical radiation in children estimates the average child will get more than 7 radiation scans by the age of 18. I wonder how that is. That's the average? I wonder how that happens. A potential worrisome trend, they say. It says most of the scans involved X-rays, which are relatively little radiation, but there's growing concerns about CT scans, which entail far more radiation and can raise the risk of cancer, particularly in children. The study found that X-rays of the chest and hands and foot are the most common. So they're saying that 7 scans by the time they're 18, that's the
a
average?
lot. I mean, our son has never had a single
Never.
one.
Our daughter's
had 2
'cause
on her arms.
She broke her right arm and then she broke her left arm.
And I wonder
Couple
if
years
it
apart.
also includes the X-ray scans, like when you fly,
I don't know.
because now people
could see
take their
that.
kids flying too, and they're getting.
Yeah, that makes sense then. Or even going in.
It was already intrusive before I knew they were possibly giving children cancer. They probably should get rid of those stupid machines.
I don't know what that's on. You know, I have no idea. I'll have to do a little more research, clearly.
There you go.
Coming up, we've got some good news. Oh, we got another fun story before we get to that. Thanks for listening to the John and Heidi Show.
John and Heidi.
This has been quite an election so far, and we've got a long ways to go. Stay informed at politicalstorm.com. It's a cool site with political news and information on the campaigns, plus a place to chime in and have a say in what you think. If you're into politics, you need to check out politicalstorm.com. Get informed from several different sources all in one place. Listen to podcasts like mine and learn about current election topics, read fun editorials, and engage your brain. It's your country. It's your vote. It's your voice. Politicalstorm.com. That's politicalstorm.com.
John and Heidi.
Take a listen to this. Aside from the occasional birthday cake or candy binge, you might think you're a pretty healthy eater. Well, maybe I don't think I am. But sugar lurks in many places, and much more than the obvious places, things like candy bars and cupcakes. Sugar Science, a new initiative from the University of California, San Francisco, they're working to educate consumers about sugar. They point out that some kinds of yogurt have more sugar than a Twinkie.
Yeah.
Other high sugar, and most of the time you don't think of yogurt as like a sugary thing. You think of it as, oh, hey, I'm going to eat healthy. I'm going to have yogurt.
Yeah, you're not eating healthy if you're
maybe
eating
not.
yogurt. You got to look at the label.
Well, yeah, you got to be informed. If that's something that concerns you, make sure you know what you're doing. Other high sugar foods to watch out for, according to the story, granola, sports drinks, and fruit juices. Plus, the salad on your salad, the salad dressing has it. And believe it or not, ketchup.
Yeah.
So they're saying if you're trying to steer clear of more sugars, maybe double check those things before you have them. Here's the thing. I've never really been a label reader. Then again, I've also never really been in shape. So but I can tell you, I've got friends that do the whole label thing, and they're really careful what they eat. And I've eaten with them, and it's really difficult because so much of the stuff that everybody eats, they can't have. Oh, no, I can't do that. No, this has got that, and this has got that.
Well,
I can't
we've
do
done
this.
diets where we can't do
Oh, yeah. Yeah, we have. So interesting stuff. Sugar Science is the name of the initiative from the University of California, San Francisco. And tell you what, I'll throw a link to this on our Facebook page as well. I already did at facebook.com/John and Heidi Show. Coming up, we've got some good news to share. That is on the way. Thanks for listening today.
John and Heidi.
This portion of the John and Heidi Show is brought to you by the John and Heidi Show. That sounds kind of funny, but it's true. Go to your local radio station and ask them to start carrying the John and Heidi Show. Here's the best part. They can carry the show for free. They play a couple commercials, but it doesn't cost them anything every month. So if you know a radio station that could use a little bit of help, send them our way. Send them to johnandheidishow.com. Again, johnandheidishow.com. We would love to do a radio program in your community. Then you could listen to the podcast and listen to us on the radio.
John and Heidi.
We always try to wrap things up around here with some good news, and I think this is good news. I think Heidi will probably think this is good news, but I'll bet there are some people that are not going to know whether to think this is good news or bad news. This is an interesting story.
All right.
And maybe I'm wrong. Maybe you'll think it's bad news. You tell me. And you got to be honest with me.
Oh, you know I will.
I know. A surrogate mom is refusing to abort one of the babies she's carrying. The New York Post reports that 26-year-old Brittany Rose Torres from Thousand Oaks, California, is acting as a surrogate mom under a $30,000 contract with a couple. Originally implanted with 2 fertile eggs, 1 boy and 1 girl, one of the eggs split, and Torres is now carrying triplets, 2 boys and a girl. At first, the biological parents were pleased with the triplets, but then 13 weeks, they told Torres about the girl to abort the girl due to an increased medical risk for developmental disabilities. And she was saying, no, I'm not doing that. So I think it sounds to me like this was a miracle that happened in the first place. You know, that she was carrying what was supposed to be 2 and it became 3. And the people that she's carrying the child for are the ones that are saying, well, get rid of one of them. We're going to get rid of the girl.
No.
And the reason is increased medical risk for developmental disabilities. Now, I got to tell you, I have friends who were born with developmental disabilities, and we've talked about this before. I've helped at organizations where there was one organization where they had an event for people with Down syndrome. And I'm going to tell you right now, they should call it Up syndrome because these are some of the happiest people I've ever met in my life. And it really is sad to me that this lady is doing these people a favor. She's saying, hey, I'll do this. Now she's getting paid for it, too. I wonder if it's in the contract. I wonder if it says anything in the contract about this.
I bet it doesn't. They probably didn't even think that that was anything they would run into. But asking a person, because especially at 13 weeks, that's
a long way in.
A long way in. And there's really no doubt at that point. I mean, I know there's a lot of debate on alive or is it not a person. That's a person.
Yeah.
You cannot. I would have refused to. I'm on her side.
Okay. Well, I kind of thought you would agree with me, and that's what I think as well. I do have a link to this story on our Facebook page, and you are always welcome, folks, to have your voice be heard as well. Please comment if you have something that you want to say about it, and you don't have to agree with us. As a matter of fact, there are a lot of people that disagree with us, and you have a voice as well. And there's some people that don't give you that chance to say things. We do. Facebook.com/John and Heidi Show. You can make any comments you want. I'm not going to delete your comments. I'll maybe comment under those, but please chime in if you have a completely differing opinion, or if you do agree, you can do that as well. Time to say goodbye, Heidi.
Goodbye, Heidi.
Goodbye, everybody. I hope that was good news. I thought it was good news, and we appreciate you listening to the John and Heidi Show on a weekend.